Hey guys, we take a closer look at the Golden Art Nouveau Toro with one of my favorite traditional Raider Waite decks with its own unique style. So this is what the box overall looks like, very luxurious with this gold foil all shiny around the box, which looks great. 78 cards, all with this kind of like shiny inlays. Now the box is nice, but yet not the strongest, so keep that in mind. This is why I would recommend you take a look at the pouch, which is what I've used for quite a long time. That is high quality silk, and plenty of room as well. That has this kind of like golden theme as well to match the cards, and you get this kind of like nice contrast color at the back of the pouch as well. So it's highly recommended, very nice. And like I said, even with the cards and the box, you can fit it all within that pouch, and again you'll have plenty of room, and it kind of like keeps your card nice and sort of protected to some degree. But again, it's one that I highly recommend if you're not into just the box. Now the cards do come plain. It only looks like the way it is because I've edged mine in a gold to just kind of match the overall theme. So overall, you get the 78 cards, you get this small guidebook, an extra card, and plus pretty much another card of the publisher and the sites that you could go on to register and look at all other upcoming decks. So within the booklet itself, you do get various different languages of meanings of each particular card. You get a general sort of like intro of what the card is about and a free card spread which you can use, and that provides you sort of like the general sort of insight of how to use those. Now the book is quite fairly minimal, so you do get quite a small amount of information, which isn't that bad. It kind of explains overall each particular cards, and it's exactly the same for the minor arcanas as well, quite fairly limited. So this is what the back of the card will look like. Fairly nice design of the tree, and then you've got sun and moon symbolism right there in the middle, and then you've got stars around it. It's got kind of like this windowed bordered, which you will find also at the front of the card. The cards are on the very thin side, so bear that in mind. But the overall, they're very comfortable to hold in the hand, regular Toro size, and the overall stock quality, the durability is pretty good, even though they're very thin. Excellent quality overall, and they feel nice in the hand. They're not so slippery. They're very nice to handle, very nice to shuffle. Now on each particular card, you'll have the indication of the number of the card at the bottom and also at the top for the major arcanas. Again, some of them will be on that sort of shiny gold inlays. And when it comes down to the court cards, you have on top indication of the crown of the king, queen, the knight, and also of the page as well as an indication. And then at the bottom of that card, it will kind of highlight what suits they belong to. As you could see here, the page belongs to the cups, knight, queen, and king as well. So it's quite fairly clear and simple to know what card belongs to what. And in terms of each particular suits, underneath it will highlight to you whether it's a sword, cup, pentacles, and then on top you'll have the number that is associated with that particular suits. So overall, these cards are very clear to understand and know exactly what cards is associated with what. So we're going to just dive straight in and have a look at our major arcanas. Again, it's very evident to see how very luxurious and shiny these inlays are, and plus also the pictures are very big, very clear, and they look absolutely fantastic. So you literally can see every single detail within these cards, which what makes them overall absolutely fantastic. It's not just the inlays, but it's also the image itself that provides a lot of clarity as to what's going on in the backgrounds, the characters, and they're all of these particular bits that you really need to kind of pay attention to or use your intuition to kind of gain a further meaning from just what you're going to read in the guidebook. Fantastic overall. Like I said, the Artwork is very clear and absolutely fantastic. And for each of these cards, you do have this kind of frame in the out on the outside, where it's kind of like a mirror. So it's as though you're looking at a mirror inside, and you're getting that particular picture that just is zoomed in and looking right at you. So I'll give you a top view of these cards and also a real close up. So we've got our Lovers card and our Chariot as well. Top view, and then I'll pretty much go across, and then I'll come back and zoom in on each particular card. So I'll try my best to show you guys the inlays. I don't know how it comes to the camera, but hopefully it's enough for you to get an idea. We've got the Lovers and the Chariot, the Lovers card. So much little details just blown up. The expression on their faces, them standing together in the Eden Garden, the Chariot standing tall, all victorious, and you've got these mystical looking sphinxes that's just resting there. We've got our Strength card and Hermit. Strength card, you could see how she's tamed the lion, and the hermit there with his lamp somewhere where it's snowing. Our wheel, in the middle of it, you have the 4 different seasons and the various different stages just outside. And the Justice card with the lady looking right through you. Absolutely gorgeous and a lot of details. And our next slot, we'll just go through each particular card, give you guys a top view of each of them, and then we'll zoom in as close as we possibly can to just kind of highlight the little details of each particular card. And by all means, you can pause the video if you just want to like have that extra more time to look at each card. We've got our Hangman and we've got the Death card. I just love how all of these images have been blown up. Temperance, and we've got the Devil. All of these little sort of details that you can see, very easy to read. I mean, this still can make a great card for beginners. I mean, even with the guidebook, even if a lot of the meanings are quite minimal, by just looking at the imagery in itself, it tells you a lot as to what's going on. And you know, a lot of these kind of little key factors, it tends to really pop it out in your face. You've got the star, and then we've got the moon. Again, they've got a different kind of inlays. It looks kind of blue, but there is still that gold shininess towards it. We've got our Sun card, and then we've got the Judgment card. The drawings, the art is just so clear. And lastly, we've got our World card. And in the middle there, you could see the golden inlays. Very nice. So that is our last slot of the Major Arcanas. We're going to take a look at our suits. We have our cup suits representing emotions, relationship, love, and intuition. The Ace of Cups and Two of Cups. The Holy Grail with the dove, a lot of emotions there. The Two of Cups showing 2 people truly coming together, so deep commitment there. Then we have our 3 and 4. 3 women dancing in full happiness, and 4, you have a man sitting there in despair, yet ignoring the cup that's being offered to him. We've got our 5 and 6. You got the man, his back turned with fallen cups, seems like a lot of regret there, and the 2 children that's enjoying the fragrance of the flowers. And then we have our 7 with a man looking amazed at the choices presented to him, with his hands kind of reaching out to kind of like make the right choice. Very beautiful cards. Again, you could kind of slightly see sort of like the gold inlays there beautifully reflecting out. We've got our 8 and our 9, men walking away and leaving behind what was once there on a journey, and the other guy looks like a merchant there, all happy and proud of his accomplishment. We've got our 10 card and our page. Celebration going on. What I love about these cards, the cards image overall is the late 19th century, late and early 20th century. A time of general peace after many wars that took place. So these cards are all about the beautiful era of that time, where you had new art, which is kind of like the meaning of the deck, movement and anything that was happening during that era, that is being translated within these decks. Very, very, very beautiful. I just love the gorgeous artwork that it presents. Absolutely beautiful cards. Very unique. I mean, there are many other cards out there that have gold inlays in them. I don't think they're as good as this one overall. I remember I had at least six different choices of various different cards, but this one to me really, out of all of it, really stood out because of how the image is just very big and sticks out and very clear. We've got our swords suits there. Very, very clear image. Underneath you can see it's highlighting to you what suits you're in. Plenty of details in the background, and certain selected areas will have that gold inlays in them. Numbers clearly indicated on top. And again, you've got that beautiful sort of like bordered, that mirror sort of centerpiece. And you've got if you look closely, the colors as well of the border of that mirror. For the sword, it's blue. The other different suits will be sort of different color. We've got our 8 and 9 of swords. Very clear. All that little detail. You could feel all of the expression going on. Our 10. And then we've got our page there. Absolutely gorgeous. All blends beautifully with the image overall. Very nice. You really won't be disappointed if you end up getting this deck for sure. I've had it for quite a long time and it's held up. Very easy to work with. And the imagery is just absolutely fantastic. That's our swords. We're moving on to our wands. Now, when I recorded this, I was losing a bit of light, but it kind of helped in a way to kind of highlight to you or show you quite closely how reflected or how much of the gold really sticks out, shines across in those cards. Sort of like a different background that really, it combines with the imagery itself and it kind of lightens it up even further, really pushes it out, which is absolutely fantastic. The one suits in this deck really shows that forceful energy of the fire for sure. There's a lot of movement taking place, the transformation in each particular card. I love the clear face expression of the characters. That is really so evident to see, and it goes very well in the keeping and knowing of the meaning of the cards for each of them. And again, each different cards will have the color of that mirror by the edge. Like I said previously, we had swords were blue, and here you could have the kind of red or brown colorish to sort of represent the fire in the wheel. You've again, in terms of the clear face expression, you could see it here in the burden of the 10 of wands. Page looking all certain as well. And here you've got the knight, all bold. The queen has this kind of like passion in her eyes and her face. The king here looks very certain and confident, clearly showing off that king status, the expression of a person who really means business. Again, you got the queen there with that warm look of passion in her face. Absolutely gorgeous card. Very unique design. Okay, so now we have our last set, the Pentacles, the element of earth, money and all tangible things, Ace and the 2, beginning of a fruitful period, increased opportunity and wealth, and a man that is keeping his balance with the 2. 3, the building of a cathedral, so skills and the coming of together. And 4 is the wealthy nobleman, holding on too tightly to his wealth. 5 and 6 are both showing poverty in its own way and struggles. And 7, a man contemplating in what looks like his garden, being patient. Top look of the cards. Very nice. Move on to our next one, our 8 and 9. A dedicated artist perfecting his art. And then in the 9, we've got the noble woman that looks content with her bird companion. Our 10, family gathering, and then the page looking like someone who's neutral. Our knight is looking determined but yet diligent in his movement. Our queen is somewhat protective of her coin, yet displaying strength and stability. And finally, we've got our king, who looks solid and very stable. And I'll give you a top view of these cards as well. So hopefully you've gotten an idea of what each imagery of these cards look like and get a feel as to how gorgeous the inlays look. That gold sort of like foil reflecting on each particular card. So there you go, guys. Just a quick flip through. It's something that I'm going to do in most of the videos, if it's not that long. So that was a look overall at the Golden Art Nouveau. Absolutely fantastic deck to work with, as you've seen. Very unique. Illustrations are very clear. There's loads of little details in there. They're easy to work with. Cardstock, I think, is absolutely top notch. These will last you a very long time. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and check out for the next one. Thank you and take care.